Evening viewers and a warm welcome to our news at 8, read to you by Ozone. First, the headlines. Her Royal Highness Princess Sibanhle has encouraged Imbali to uphold values that are taught during the redance ceremony. The Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini says Eswatini is grateful to have visionary leaders in His Majesty King Mswati III and Her Majesty the Queen Mother. The government of Japan has donated 31 million malangeni to the government of the Kingdom of Eswatini. The news in detail. Her Royal Highness Princess Sibanhle is encouraging Imbali to uphold good values that are taught in Eswatini's annual redance ceremonies. Princess Sibanhle was speaking during Gusile Breakfast Show today.
Every year in August and in the beginning of September, maidens in Eswatini celebrate their chastity by participating in the annual reed dance ceremony. The reed dance is one of Eswatini's cultural spectacles, which also plays a huge part in unifying Emaswati people, while the kingdom's richly preserved tradition is also showcased to international tourists. However, due to the outbreak of COVID-19, the reed dance was celebrated differently this year as a limited number of maidens gathered and celebrated the annual ceremony. It is against the backdrop of events that unfolded this year that affected the reed dance that Her Royal Highness Princess Sibanhle, who was speaking in Eswatini TV's Gusile Breakfast Show, urged maidens to uphold all good values promoted in the reed dance.
Nathi thina mambombatana siyakhona kubambana tandla ukuthi sibukisane sisitane ukuthi ngiyiphile yona nendlela lethite lekuphila empilweni nawe ukuthi ube intombi lehloniphekile. Nathi sisive sonke yasisita ukuthi emavela amanye ayasibona ukuthi sibambule bahloniphekile bangafiki sebadlabhadisa live lethu. Over the years ihlale letinombolo siyadibona ukuthi tiyakhula vele atange namnyaka munye sengiyibone inqipha. Nathi kuyasikhuthatha sibala eveni ukuthi hawu cha vele kuyinto lenhle. Nananabo bayatibonela ngalathi nombolo ngalokuthi tikhulisa ngilokuthi vele konke lesikwendako lapha it's solely for Emaswati.
Leader of the Imbali Regiment, Nonduduzo Zubugo, says even though the reed dance ceremony was celebrated differently this year, the country has learned a lot.
Sinekwethemba singemaswati ukuthi noma ichubeka iCovid-19 kukhona lesitawukwenda singemaswati ngoba kusifundo kona lokho khona sikufunzile lapho ukuthi kude lesingeke sikwende sibanjwe simo lesithide lokusho ukuthi nakuchubeka siyaphambili sitawukhona kuba nalo lisiko lemhlaba.
Meanwhile, Princess Sibanhle says she believes that the Lord Almighty will help the country in the fight against COVID-19 so that members of Imbali Regiment and the nation at large will in the not-so-distant future join their majesties in celebrating the country's cultural events. For Eswatini TV News, Hlengiwe Ndlovu, while the report was compiled by Samgelsiwe Koza in Babane.
The Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini says Eswatini is lucky and grateful to have visionary leaders in His Majesty King Mswati III and the Queen Mother who are passionate about infrastructural development and ensuring that Emaswati have easy access to all services that will improve their welfare and living standards. The Prime Minister was speaking during a tour of the Manzini-Mbadlana Highway, which is under construction. The Prime Minister was informed that the construction of the world-class highway is expected to be completed by May 2021.
On Friday, Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini once again led cabinet ministers in touring infrastructure development projects in the country aimed at developing Eswatini, as they toured the under-construction Manzini-Mbadlane Highway. The Prime Minister and cabinet ministers were taken on a guided tour of the highway by the Ministry of Public Works and Transport. In his address, the Prime Minister said the importance of having a world-class and seamless road infrastructure cannot be ignored, as it avails numerous spin-offs for the nation as not only does it improve access to all kinds of economic activity along these routes and connects the country to the different regions, but it also ensures road safety for all users.
The development and improvement of this road network we have just taught today provides a good platform for business activity to thrive, as it allows businesses to easily access markets and the public to conveniently access crucial goods and services. As a nation, we are extremely grateful to have a visionary leader in His Majesty King Mswati III and the Queen Mother, who are passionate about infrastructural development and ensuring that eMaswati have easy access to all services that will improve their welfare and living standards. The construction and upgrading of this road infrastructure is part of a mix of projects that are meant to ensure that our overall national infrastructure steadily moves towards the ideals of Vision 2022.
The Minister for Public Works and Transport, Ndlaluhlaza Zandwandwe, said they are pleased as a ministry to see the progress of the construction of the 30-kilometer highway. The minister says the ministry is working on the road agency bill, which will establish a fund which will be responsible for road maintenance in the country. Chairpersons of the Ministry of Public Works and Transport portfolio committees in the House of Assembly and Senate respectively commended government's efforts in developing the country's road infrastructure. Manzini Regional Administrator Chief Gija emphasized on the importance of having a fund for road maintenance, while a representative of Inyatsi Construction said they are pleased to be executing the project on behalf of government. The road infrastructure development is in line with the SADC infrastructure development program to foster trade in the region. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Sibusiso Ngubane in Manzini.
Government is alive to the concerns raised by businesses which remain closed in these challenging times, especially the alcohol industry. These words were said by the Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini when appealing to businesses, especially the alcohol industry, and the public to bear with them, as it is not government's intention to frustrate business, but they are obviously dealing with a highly unpredictable virus that requires all to sacrifice in order to save lives. The Prime Minister says they are hopeful that it won't be long before the closed businesses resume their operations.
We still need to remain more vigilant to protect each other and not allow another surge of infections to surface. We are obligated to protect our children who are back in school, to catch up with lost instructional time as they prepare for their examinations. We also have the responsibility to protect our elderly and those with underlying conditions from getting infected, as the past has proven that they are most vulnerable. This we can do by strictly adhering to all the health protocols and measures aimed at curtailing the spread of the virus. I take this opportunity to appeal to the public transport sector, in particular, to be vigilant in observing all health guidelines in the course of moving the public from one place to another. Government is alive to the concerns raised by businesses which remain closed in those challenging times, especially the alcohol industry. We will once again review the behavior of the virus at the end of September and make the necessary interventions as per the recommendations of the health sector. It is not our intention to frustrate business, but we are obviously dealing with a highly unpredictable virus that requires all to sacrifice in order to save lives.
The government government of Japan has yet again donated to the government of Eswatini with a sum of 31.6 million emalangeni through the World Food Programme towards food assistance to families hard hit by the impacts of COVID-19. The donation was received by the Deputy Prime Minister, Themba Mesugu.
The government of Japan has over the years helped the kingdom realize a number of socio-economic development milestones, such as the construction of 12 high schools and 4 inclusive schools, and recently the focus has been on improving food security as the country has been negatively impacted by a number of disasters. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Mesugu says the government of Eswatini continues to appreciate the support services that promote livelihoods and development.
This just shows the magnitude of the support and partnership we have with your country, and the value placed by your government on improving living standards, supporting poverty reduction, and social stability as basic policies.
The World Food Programme Head of Office in Eswatini, Sisi Bianca, says since 2017, Japan has provided financial support which has ensured that orphans and vulnerable children are taken care of.
Over 52,000 children of pre-primary school and 24,000 in primary and secondary schools have been receiving hot meals comprising of maize meal, rice, beans and vegetable oil, and accessing basic health care. Over 600 farmers have also been supported.
She says the World Food Programme Eswatini looks forward to continuing its collaboration with the government of Japan. Reporting, I'm Lungilele Makakula with Fortune Dlangamandla, Mbabane.
The Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, has officially opened Namboard Msahweni Pack House on the 18th of September 2020. Farmers at Msahweni and surrounding areas were encouraged to produce in large quantities now that the new pack is closer and their products will reach the market in high quality and standard.
The Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, has encouraged farmers at Msahweni and surrounding areas to make good use of the new pack house by increasing much-needed agricultural produce.
Balethe tipitho tabo khona tihle tiwashwe tinakwe bese sesiyaphuma ke sesiyahamba ke tiye market siyakholwa.
The minister says with a high standard pack house now in place at Msahweni, farm produce will be kept fresh such that by the time each crop, fruit and vegetable that was kept in this facility is transported to the National Minister of Agriculture for this initiative and standard. The Minister of Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Tambokina, encouraged farmers to produce for commercial markets.
Abangehlisi vele emandla baphamisa masokisi sikhicite tinto letawuthengwa umhlaba jikelele.
European Union Ambassador Esmeralda Hernandez also encouraged the farmers in the northern Hoho region to put more effort into their production in order to develop their lives.
It is a structure of mass significance for all involved in the sector, especially those servicing the Msahweni area, and I am proud to be in your midst today to celebrate such a remarkable feat achieved.
Tembisini constituency member of parliament Nelson Mamba says he is hoping that the new pack house will also help create much needed employment opportunities.
ibe la yithi kodwa nokhanze ukuthi kude labantu bala yithi lebakhona kufika lawo mathuba ukuthi bangaqashwa. So siyacela nje honorable minister lokuthi usicelele ukuthi aseqashwa inkundleni uma kunemisebenzi enjengalena.
Besides the Msahweni pack house, there are 2 other similar facilities in the Shiselweni region. All 3 structures cost 26 million. Reporting for Eswatini TV News is Puma Pimsweli, Msahweni.
The Kingdom of Eswatini is making all possible means to ensure that the ozone layer is protected. This is an assurance made by the Minister of Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Moses Vilagati, during the commemoration of the World Ozone Layer Day held at the Mountain Inn Hotel in Babane. The International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer is celebrated annually on the 16th of September as designated by the United Nations Assembly. This is the day where the world pays tribute to the strides that have been undertaken towards the reduction of the depletion of the ozone layer. Speaking during the commemoration of the Ozone Layer Day, Minister of Tourism Moses Vilagati said, "The Kingdom of Eswatini is proud that the Vienna Convention has yielded tangible benefits to human health and the environment since its adoption in 1985.
This year, the world celebrates 35 years of the Vienna Convention and 25 years of the global efforts directed towards the protection of the ozone layer under the theme Ozone for Life, 35 years of protecting the ozone layer. This is very critical because we need to protect it. We need to go the extra mile, individually and collectively, to protect it.
UNDP Deputy Resident Representative Shama Hussein commended Eswatini for the demonstrated leadership in contributing towards reducing global temperature rise through mitigation actions that also enhance economic development despite the country being one of the lowest greenhouse emitters.
We are reminded that the importance of the protection of the ozone layer and the generative power of the sun for life of the earth. However, if it is not balanced, not preserved, we will suffer, and that will really affect our actual existence. And name a few things like skin cancer and other different diseases that we could suffer from if this is not protected and preserved right.
Shama further assured UNDP's commitment to support efforts to face down other greenhouse gases that contribute to global warming and climate change. Reporting, I am Zoto Adlameni with Mozum Konta in Babane. The Minister of Natural Resources and Energy, Peter Bembe, visited 4 primary schools in the Shiselweni region today to establish the challenges that these schools are facing and to ascertain the level in which they comply to COVID-19 regulations.
On Friday, the Minister for Natural Resources and Energy, Peter Bembe, continued with inspecting primary schools in the Shiselweni region as part of the government's program to see what challenges the schools are facing and to ascertain if they are adhering to the COVID-19 regulations as well. So far, the minister has visited Nzongomane Primary and Nhlangano Central, where head teachers of the 2 schools told the minister what challenges they are facing.
The biggest challenge is that we have, as I have mentioned, that we had not planned for this, so our budget has been disturbed.
Don't have enough washing facilities since we are having a large number of learners. There are 125 grade and 7 learners, 42 teachers and 7 support staff members. And in that way, when we are in the line there waiting for washing our hands, we find that we start our lessons very late.
In response to the challenges that were expressed by the head teachers, the minister promised that he would forward all concerns raised by school principals to the Ministry of Education.
The school is very old and they are very worried that the roof may collapse on top of the students. So that is a major concern that we need to look at as government. And also in this school, in Nhlangano Central, it's a large school. They have a washing station for 6 points, but they can only use 4 because of social distancing. So they are requesting that there be some attention paid towards increasing the washing points for the students.
The minister applauded the Shiselweni region schools that since government started visiting schools in the region, not a single school was found not complying to the point that they had to close it. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, Sifiso Ngumalo, it's Muva Shongwe, Nhlangano.
The summer seasonal weather forecast conducted by Eswatini Meteorological Services shows that this year's summer will have more rainfall as compared to last year's summer season. This was announced by the director of Eswatini Meteorological Services, Dudu Nhlengetwa, during the Eswatini National Climate Outlook Forum held at Happy Valley Hotel in Ezwatini.
Season is promising to give us normal to above rainfall, wherein normal is basically looking at the long-term average of rainfall. And when we talk about normal rainfall, we are talking about a certain range within that average, which is we normally look at plus minus 10% within that range. So we're expecting to have relatively good rains within that range. And we are also expecting that our season will actually perform better than last season and start at a better time than last season, wherein we are hopeful that during the month of October we will see that kick-off of the season, wherein we'll be having enough rainfall that farmers can go into the fields and continue with their farming activities. We have already seen some rains coming through, but it's still very light rains that are coming through, a few thunderstorms here and there, which is showing that our summer system is already kicking in. So we are hopeful that during the month of October, we will be having sufficient rains for farmers to be able to initiate their farming activities. With global warming and climate change, we are seeing increasing temperatures globally, including in our country, and this what is also resulting in more frequent and more severe events. And as a department, we are doing all in our power to focus that at the best lead time we can, and we are also trying to source more models that will help us identify and be able to forecast those events as early as possible, and we will indeed inform the nation and other relevant stakeholders, including agriculture.
The government of the Republic of China on Taiwan has donated 5,000 face masks and 3,000 backpacks to the Ministry of Health, which will be used by rural health motivators in communities around the country. Receiving the donation was the Deputy Director in the Ministry of Health, Rejoice Nkambule, at Mountain Inn Hotel in Mbabane. The Taiwan Technical Cooperation Project started in 1969. Under the bilateral frameworks, there are 4 major projects in different areas currently. The Maternal and Infant Care Improvement Project is one of them. Taiwan ICDF started to cooperate with the Ministry of Health on the said project since 2016. Rural health motivators, the key cooperation counterpart of the project, play a unique role as a bridge linking local communities and formal governmental health system, where they provide a range of services from prevention to management of chronic health conditions, as well as palliative care and maternal and children health promotion.
During the project phase 1, we undertook the following activities. We sent 2 RHMC trainers to Taiwan to receive advanced training on health promotion. We worked with them to conduct local trainings to more than 300 RHMS to strengthen their capacity for promoting maternal and infant health care.
Receiving the donation on behalf of the Ministry of Health, the Deputy Director in the Ministry of Health, Rejoice Nkambule, says this kind gesture addresses the need of providing community health volunteers with relevant tools to effectively render their services, particularly in response to this key issue of maternal and infant morbidity and mortality.
You will recall that our maternal and neonatal mortality rates are high due to a number of reasons. That may be pregnancy, delivery, and postpartum related complications, which most of the time are avoidable. We have noted, though, that some mothers are not even aware of the danger signs, such as prolonged bleeding, and by extension, take long to report these to the healthcare provider.
Nkambule further says the support also addresses the current needs to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. Reporting, I am Zodo Adlameni with Mosum Konda in Mbabane. The Ministry of Health would like to inform the public of the status of COVID-19 in Eswatini. In a statement issued by the Minister for Health, a total of 161 results were received today, of which 24 tested positive. The total number of COVID-19 confirmed cases to date is 5,215. The statement shows that there are 610 active cases, 4,478 have recovered, 103 are deceased, and 24 have been registered for care. Looking at the cumulative confirmed COVID-19 cases by region, Menzini has 2,362 cases, Hoho has 1,985 cases, Shiselweni has 447 cases, and Lubombo has 421 confirmed cases of COVID-19. In our sports news, ASA Sports Academy captain Bruce Gama says in their drive to increase the number of female players in tennis, they have decided to introduce a mixed doubles for this weekend's second edition ASA Sports Academy series that will be played at the Lubamba Tennis Center.
The number of female tennis players are disappointingly low, and in the last tennis tournament, the ASA Sports Academy, there were no female players taking part. The ASA Sports Academy raised their concerns about it, and they have taken decisions to try to rectify that. As they say, they want to see more female players join the sport. The ASA Sports Academy team captain, Bruce Gama, in a telephonic interview, says they will have mixed doubles so to encourage female players to join in, as they want to have a large pool of players playing the sport.
We are striving to have as many tennis players as possible, the ones that are still new in the game, the ones that have been there before but they were not playing, the old players, for them to come back, and the ones that are there to actually maintain, coming in to perform, to play. And most of all is to actually bring a lot of ladies, back into the sport. As you know that we have mixed doubles, that is actually another way of bringing them back. So we're not going to have men's doubles. We're only going to have men's singles and mixed doubles. So it's going to be men's singles and mixed doubles, which the mixed doubles are actually done for one reason, so that we have people going out there and trying to get a lot of, ladies to come, because you can't participate if there's no ladies, for the mixed doubles.
Gama concluded by highlighting that the games are still a build-up to the main tournament that will see tennis players from the southern region coming in to take part in the tournament. The games will be played at the Lubamba Tennis Center this coming weekend, with the finals to be played on Sunday. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports News, I am Patizo Msibi, Mbabane.
Before we come to the end of our news tonight, let us once again take a look at the headlines. Her Royal Highness Princess Sibandle has encouraged Imbali to uphold values that are taught during the redance ceremony. The Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini says Eswatini is grateful to have visionary leaders in His Majesty King Mswati III and Her Majesty the Queen Mother. The government of Japan has donated 31 million malangeni to the government of the Kingdom of Eswatini. Well, viewers, that's all I have for you from our news desk. Thank you very much for staying with us. At this point in time, please allow me to leave you with the weather update for tonight and tomorrow. Otherwise, from myself, Zoto Dlamini, and the rest of the transmission team, good night and enjoy your weekend.